Hello. Okay, so today we are going to deal with the date data type when you bring into the visualization. Okay, so when you bring it in any date. So by default, we know date is an hierarchy field. It starts with your year, then comes your quarter, then months, then weeks or days. Yeah. Now by default, when you drag any date field, it is reflecting in a form of like if in this example, 2011, 12, 13, 14. So here you see it is in form of discrete, which means it is in dimension form. Okay. Now what happens? Anything you bring into the view with a measure, it is going to break into the parts of four. Yes. And whenever you say date, by default, it is reflecting as in a form of chart. That chart is nothing but your line chart, right? What does it mean? Whenever you have got a date, you are creating a trend line. You are showing the trend, right? From years, months, days, weeks, right? This way. Now, what if I want to showcase in continuous in nature? What I want in a continuous in nature. Continuous means here you see here we have got like directly year to year. But in between, whenever you're talking about, we have got nothing. Yes. If I want to know 2011 Jan, Feb, March, April, May, nothing. If you break again, it is going to break you into the quarters. When you click it again, it is going to break down into your months of each quarter, right? If I want to showcase only monthly basis and I want to give this as a filter, so I'll click on and as a show filter, I'll remove this. Now you see, I've got my 12 months breakup here. So when I say 12 months breakup here means here 2011, 12, 13, 14, 4 years of Jan total is here for Jan. This becomes 4 years every year's Feb, adding it with list of your years. Okay. This is how you're going to break this when you have got in a form of when you want to show your data in a form of like dimensions when you're breaking into its parts. Okay. In a granular level. All right. Now, what if I want to showcase on a continuous level, on a day wise? You know, in that case, I'll make use of the filter shelf. Here you see you'll get list of options to deal with your date. How exactly you want in years, quarters, months, days. Here only you can filter it out. There we were using hierarchy to expand the values and collapse it. Whichever are required, we were going to use it and we are going to remove the part of the hierarchy step. Okay. Now here you see you've got range of dates. What do you mean by range of dates or relative? First, we'll go to relative date. When I click on next, here you see I've got a relative date. Now, how you want to deal with your date part? Relative dates is you get years, quarters, months, weeks, and days. For a specific period of time, you want to showcase, if you want to say years, so how you want to? This year, that is previous year, this year, and next year, or year to date. If I click on previous year and if I click on last, so what does it means? Let's say the current data, what we have got is 2011 to 14. So the last for 2014 would be your last 3 years for 2014 would be 13, 12, and 11. Let's see if what I'm saying, if it is correct. Click on apply and okay. Now you see it got turned into green. Yes. If I click on show filter also, see it is showing as last 3 years. So it is giving a filter shelf of like 1/1/2022 to 1/1/2024. This is the current date till now it is showing. Yes, right? Then if the end user wants to say next comes into the picture when you're using any forecast to it. Forecast values to it. When you say year to date, So it becomes 1/1/2024 to 28/5/2024, today's date. This becomes year to date. When you are trying to showcase till date information, like month till date, year till date, right? Quarter till date, week till date. In that case, you are going to use year to date. Here right now, why it is year? Because we have here you have chosen year. If I go with quarter, it becomes quarter to date. If I click on months, it becomes month to date, weeks to date, right? If I say days, it will be yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Okay. So it depends what exactly you're choosing it and what you want to show it. You're giving an end user a chance to use it, right? This is how it works when it comes to the part of relative to. Now I'll go back here into the filter shelf. Again, I'll go to the relative date. Next, here you see it is showing range of date. Now here we are talking about specific dates. Here it is not considering as a previous, current, or future. Here we are going to use when you have got a scenario when you want to give a specific days to it. Okay, a range of days, threshold, start date and end date. To choose it, end user will choose and he'll use it appropriately. If I say range of dates, click on apply and okay. Show filter. Now you see the slider will help you to restrict or to start it from where you want. Let's say if I click here also, I can change it. See with the calendar. If I say 1/1/2012 to 31st 12, if I want of 1 year, what I'll do? 1/11/2012. The 1 year would be, what would be the month? November. Okay, November. Exactly. So it will be this way. So whatever the view you are going to bring and showcase now, it will be to the respective years. Whatever the selection, end user is going to make for. Now, if I bring the sales, if I bring the normal order date now, see, automatically it is working as per your filter. Here it is reflecting 2012 to 2013. In this case, if you want to show in months, quarters, again, you'll get the breakdown. So this is your complete 1 year in a form of month. Here, if I change it again, so what happens? Automatically, it will start to work. It becomes your Jan now to your December. Yes. Now, when I bring order date into relative date next, so you want to keep your end date fixed. End date fixed. Only your starting date should be changed. In that case, you are going to use starting date, right? As you want till the end of the data. But here you want to give a flexibility of change in your start date. In that case, you are going to use your start date. Same goes with your opposite to your end date. Yeah. The next is special values. Like for example, all dates, null dates and null dates. Null dates means where in the column where you don't have your dates available. What happens if you keep all dates and that particular date has got no value? What will happen? Your trend will start to break into your view. It is going to break it. So instead of that, if you make it as like non-null dates, so it will show you the according to your data or your business, what has happened to the particular date. Got it? In that case, you are going to use this non-null dates. Okay. This is how you are going to work on the part of what this is called as option, which is the option we have chosen, relative or range. When I drag it, what we have seen, Ram, relative. Now, what do you mean by range of dates? This is your range of dates. When I say relative, perfect, correct. Now, if I drag this below, you see you have got years, quarters, months, days. So directly it will give you the breakup of where you want from the hierarchy in this particular options. Yes. If I say months, next. So you see, I have got all my 12 months. Click all, apply, okay. Now when I drag this and bring it here, so it is going to work on month. Now, apart from this, what if you want to show the individual dates? Drag it into the filter shelf and choose individual dates. See, you'll find all your individual dates into the place from start date when you have started with your data, till the last. So if I click on all, apply and OK. Now when I bring this into view, so I can get the result of my individual dates. Got it? So it depends how you want to deal with your date field. You can drag it into the filter shelf and choose the appropriate option to. Yes, this is how you're going to deal with the date part. Now, what I want is I want you guys to create different views on date field. Each one of them, what I have shown, how it works. If you understand this perfect way, so you can deal with any of the date part easily. Okay, right? So this is by default, whatever the information is using in the date field. But when you go to the calculated field, again, if you want to mold as per your requirements, you can use the date functions. You have got date add, date if, date num, date phrase, date part, date trunc. Yes. So this is, we are going to deal when you are going to work in a part of calculations, like maximum day, minimum day, month, now. Now, what is the formula in Excel now does? It will give date and time. What today will give? Today will give you information of exact date, today's date. When you say year, if you have to fetch it, if you remember in the date formulas, equals to date, what happens? From that specific date, month and year, it will fetch only year. When you say month, it will fetch only specific month like 2004, 412. So 4 is your answer as a separate field or a column. You get as a separate field or a column. In Excel, you get a column as a result. In Tableau, you get a separate field itself. Right? See, if I go with previous example. Okay. Now here, what is the month if you want to fetch it? What do you do? Equals to create calculated field. Go to the date part. Let's say if I want to make this as month, a specific field for it. If I go with month formula, right? If I give this order date. So you just see what is happening here, sum of month. What do you mean by sum of month? Why it is doing sum? Why it is taking as sum? Yeah, we added into a calculated field, but the result was to be in a form of dimension. It is considering as an integer data type, not a date. If I click here if I make it as date, see, automatically it goes red. Yes, here you see, I've got equals to calendar. If I bring this into the view, it is going in a form of again measure, year. If I right click, edit. See what happened when I converted that into a dimension. It used the function called date phrase. Now let's understand what is date phrase, why automatically it got changed, why Tableau changed it. So the C converts a string to a date in the specified format. Example date phrase DDMMMYYY. What is this? This is a format, date format. That is 15th April 2004 with a date and time. Yes, correct. So under the date, it has used the date phrase. The same thing when in Excel comes in, what we function we use? Yeah, but we want to give a specific format to it, like DDMMYY. We use date value or text in between, date, open bracket, text, and then you give a format to it, right? Practice that and let me know, right? Here we have got a date phrase, which converts your string in a form of what the date phrase says. See, read it once again. Converts a string to a date in a specified format. Example date phrase DDMMMYYYY for 15th April 2014. So it is changing the format. It is making a result as like from 15 April 2024 to it is going as year first, then month, then date. Now again the question arises here is we want to show this as like 1 1 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 2. If I convert to a discrete, again if I bring the date. So here I need to bring this month into filters. I need to show in the nulls. Got it? Click on all, apply, and go. Now when I bring this into the table, all the December ones comes into the one place. November, Jan. If you want to change the format, right click. Okay. Here you see what kind of value you want to pass. By this way, you can use something. When I say custom months, date value if I want, not date part. So I can again use my specific format. Right? This is how you're going to deal with your date part. Okay. If you understand this date part very well, it will help you a lot because 99.9% you're going to use date part as your dashboard filters. Because every data is going to work on your time, date, yes, duration. Got it? Most of the types Tableau don't recognize the correct date format because the data source from where we are fetching the data as a date would be a chances where it is not in a correct format. Where Tableau to read that as a date data type. Okay. So you need to first, whenever you get connected to the data, 95% people first check how the data is reflected. Because rest of the part of numbers and dimensions are automatically recognized. Right? First comes to the date part, a priority to check. Second comes is with the part of geographical fields. There would be a chances most of your fields would not recognized. It could not be mapped. In that case, what happens? You need to reassign it as it has a geographical field and you need to provide the latitude and longitude for the geographical fields. Okay. So still we have to deal with maps. Okay. So today we just walk through like a small session on dates. So how to deal it, how to crack it, how to break into our understanding. We'll work on dates as well. Special or what we can say is like separate or a special session will be only on dealing with dates. Okay. All right. So we'll work on dates. Then we'll go on to the maps. And then the most important part is we'll work on charts. Which chart to use when? What is the use of it? What is the definition of it? Which is the correct scenario or the connect as per the correct result, what he wants to see. As per his expectations, correct chart should be defined. Okay, perfect. For that, what you can do is the best part what Tableau has provided is its community. Along with the community, Tableau's community, you can use the documentation what Tableau has provided as Tableau help. Right? Right from the first step to the last step, you'll find everything into Tableau help. Just bookmark this. As right now we are working on Tableau desktop, you are learning it. So just go to the Tableau desktop. If you go to the release notes, you'll get the latest information of all the versions and the comparisons of previous versions also here. Okay. If I go back to the Tableau desktop web authoring, if you see, I've got like get started, release notes, build a basic view tutorial. So everything you'll get into the left-hand side panel where you're going to learn each and every step. Do it practical, go through this notes, understands from the scratch, from the basic. It has created so easy and crisp way that every step is, showcased in this notes with screenshots. Yeah. Why, how, and when. All these answers are, described in this particular notes. Okay. It's very interesting. Read it, simultaneously try to implement. Clear? Got it? Perfect. All right. Just click on star mark, bookmark added. Done. Now, whenever I open this, under the bookmarks, I'll get my sub. So whenever you get time, just go through it, click on star mark, click it, you're done. Search to any topic, let's say, as I was talking about date fields. If I randomly type as like date field, so anything related to dates, see there are like 1 to 10, that is 370 of date fields. So date functions in Tableau. Convert a field to a date field Tableau, right? Custom dates, custom date formats, right? So you'll get all these options to learn. See continuous dates. What do you mean by continuous dates? How it is used, how you have to implement, how you used to showcase as a format. Everything is here. Change the default from just now what I've done is from continuous to discrete, right? And when I did it, automatically it has written the formula of date phrase that, right? By this way also you can understand. See, for more information of the impact of using a continuous or a discrete field, refer to the dimensions and measures blue and green. If you understand this perfectly, you can manipulate or you can make your field work as per your requirement. Okay. But the suggestion is when you are starting to read something, complete it. Once you are complete, after completing it only, then you click on the rest of the hyperlinks, or else you will go in a there would be chances of you would go in a diversion way of like learning a specific topic. First complete it, read it. Once you understand it, then click on that particular link and try to relate it what exactly it is. Or else click, boom, you are out of your topic, right? So if you want to learn, just understand the complete stuff and then you click it on any specific links apart from your topics and then work. See a theoretical, do it practical. Read it, understand it. Once you read and understand, your 70% job is done. 30% is only to tweak into your visualization. Follow this method to learn, right? Read it, implement, read it, implement it, and write it down. Keep an habit of writing it. How much more you write, whatever the changes are happening, that helps you a lot in terms of further any queries or any issues when you face. Because whatever you learn, if you note it down, it remembers, for ages. when you do it anything practical rather than only theoretical. All right, perfect. Enjoy this Tableau help. If you from the start to end, if you read at least once or practice at least once, you're done with your basic and intermediate understanding. How much more you practice, that is your path to expertise level, right? There is no start or end to the expertise. Once you start it, you can't say at what level you have reached, right? This is a process which you need to continuously be in touch and try something new every time with different scenarios, challenge yourselves. That is the only mantra what you can, make yourself more perfect. No one is perfect here, right? How much more you practice, your experience counts. That's builds your confidence level. Okay. All right.